I never thought a garage door would change my life, but it did. A $150 fine, because my garage door was the wrong shade of beige, and before it was over, my HOA president would be dragged away in handcuffs, in front of the entire neighborhood. This is the story of how something so small exposed something so much bigger. When I first moved into Maplewood Estates, I thought I had found paradise. The streets were lined with maple trees, kids rode bikes without fear, and neighbors waved from manicured lawns. The HOA promised order and community pride. And for the first 6 months, everything really did feel perfect, until the letter. It was waiting in my mailbox like a snake coiled in the grass. A bold red header across the top. Violation notice. The violation. Garage door not in compliance, fine, $150. I froze. My garage door was beige, exactly like everyone else's, but apparently mine was the wrong shade of beige. The notice said I had painted it sand dune, Blagger 14. The approved color was desert beige, Blagger 12. The difference? Practically invisible, but the HOA didn't care. That night I laughed it off. Must be a mistake, I told my wife, but something in the pit of my stomach told me. This was just the beginning. The next day, I marched into the HOA office. Linda Carlisle, the HOA president, sat behind a polished oak desk, golden bob haircut, sharp pink blazer, a clipboard glued to her hand. Her smile was razor thin. Mr. Thompson, you're here about the garage door? Yes, I said. This has to be a mistake. My garage door is beige. The same beige as everyone else's. She tapped her pen on the clipboard. I'm afraid not. Your shade is unauthorized. Sand dune now 14 is not desert beige now 12. That's a violation. I held up 2 paint swatches I had brought. They looked identical, but Linda only smiled wider. If we let one person bend the rules, the whole community falls apart. It wasn't about paint. It was about control. By the time I walked out of that office, I wasn't laughing anymore. That night, my neighbor Alvarez leaned over the hedge. You too? He whispered. I frowned. What do you mean? He shook his head. They fined me last month. Said my flower pot wasn't the right color. The flower pot. I thought he was exaggerating. Until 2 houses down, Mrs. Klein shouted from her porch. They fined me for weeds that weren't even weeds. Suddenly I realized I wasn't the only one, and the deeper I looked, the uglier it got. Neighbors whispered about fines for lawn ornaments, for grass 2 inches too tall, for Christmas lights left up a day past January 1st. It wasn't about keeping the neighborhood nice. It was about Linda. That's when I knew this wasn't about beige at all. This was about power, and Linda wasn't going to let go without a fight. The fines didn't stop, even after I repainted the garage door. Yes, in desert beige number 12, another violation appeared. This time, Linda claimed the finish was too glossy. Another $150 fine, then it spread, Mr. Alvarez. Another fine for his flower pot again. The Johnson family. For a child's bike left outside overnight. Another neighbor. For excessive driveway cracks. It was madness. The next HOA meeting was packed. Neighbors filled folding chairs, whispering nervously. At the front sat Linda, clipboard in hand, tapping her pen like a judge passing sentence. She called out fines like she was reading grocery prices. Lot 24, violation of landscaping code. Lot 17, garage door noncompliance. Lot 33, unapproved porch ornament. When my name came up, I stood. This is absurd, I said. My garage door is painted exactly the way your rules specify. Linda didn't blink. Your compliance is inadequate. Rules are rules. The room went silent. Then a neighbor whispered, he's right. It's the same color as mine. Another nodded. Murmurs spread. Linda's smile cracked. If you don't like it, Mr. Thompson, she said coldly. Perhaps this isn't the neighborhood for you. Gasps. The threat hung heavy in the air, but I wasn't about to back down. I started documenting everything, every fine, every letter, every conversation. That's when I noticed something strange. The same contractor's name appeared again and again. Driveway repairs, mailbox replacements, garage door repaints, all recommended by the HOA and all billed at outrageous prices. Then came the harassment, HOA inspectors. circling my house with cameras. Notices taped to my door at midnight. Neighbors turning cold, afraid to talk to me. My wife begged me to stop. "They'll ruin us," she said. "They can put a lien on the house." But something in me snapped. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about all of us. And then a neighbor slipped me a quiet warning. "Look deeper," he whispered. "You'll see where the money's going." That night, I opened my laptop and started digging. What I found made my blood run cold. The paper trail was messy, but damning. Linda's brother owned a home improvement company. And guess who the HOA recommended every time someone was fined? Her brother need a new garage door repaint? His company got driveway cracks? His company even mailbox replacements. His company and the prices, triple the normal rate. It was a racket. I filed a legal request for the HOA's financial records. By law, they had to provide them. But Linda stonewalled. "These records are confidential," she said. That was illegal. So I doubled down. I interviewed neighbors, snapped photos of identical garage doors, gathered copies of every violation letter. Soon, I had a binder thick enough to break a table, but the fines kept coming. $150, $500. Threats of liens on my home. Then came the breaking point. One morning, a sheriff's deputy knocked on my door. He was there to serve notice of pending legal action. But instead of panicking, I handed him the binder. Page after page of evidence. Fraud, misappropriation, abuse of power. He flipped through the papers slowly. His jaw tightened. Then he said two words that changed everything. "We'll investigate." The next weeks were tense. Linda seemed to know something was coming. She glared at me across meetings. Her inspectors doubled their patrols around my house. Anonymous notes showed up in my mailbox. Drop it, or else. My wife was terrified, but I couldn't stop because by then, it wasn't just my fight, it was all of ours. That was the moment I knew Linda's empire was about to crumble. The next HOA meeting was standing room only. Neighbors packed the hall. Tension crackling in the air. Linda sat at the head of the table, reading off fines with smug satisfaction. Lot 24, Lot 17, Lot 33. Then the doors opened. Two uniformed officers walked in. The room went dead silent. "Linda Carlisle," the officer said. "You're under arrest. Fraud, misappropriation of funds. Abuse of authority." Linda froze, her face drained of color. "This is a mistake," she shrieked. "I am the HOA." But it didn't matter. The officers cuffed her wrists and pulled her to her feet. Her clipboard clattered to the floor. The neighbors gasped. Some covered their mouths. Others smiled. As Linda was dragged out, heels scraping against the tile, I felt the weight lift off the entire neighborhood. The investigation revealed everything. Tens of thousands of dollars funneled to her brother's company. Selective enforcement of rules, threats, lies. She was sentenced. The HOA elected a new board. Transparent, fair, accountable. And all the bogus fines erased. As for me, my garage door, still the same shade of beige. And every time I pull into my driveway, they smile. Because beige wasn't the crime. Greed was. And that's how a simple $150 fine exposed a mountain of corruption. Sometimes, the smallest battles reveal the biggest truths. If you loved this insane HOA story, don't forget to subscribe for more every week because, trust me, the neighborhood drama never ends.